whom you see now, the Reverend Anton Zandor LaVey, who is the founder and high priest of the First Church of Satan.
He have completely sold himself to the devil. He have no part of God. Everything he do over there is no part of God. Nothing God had anything to do with. It's something he created in his own mind.
Well, we're realists, we Satanists, so what we've done is just reverse the procedure. Instead of trying to free ourselves, we've taken all these hang-ups, we've turned them into useful situations. If you're going to be a sinner, be the best sinner on the block. If you're going to do something that's naughty, do it, and realize that you're doing something naughty and enjoy it. But I can do anything that I want to. I can pursue any kind of lustful desires that I might feel. I can engage in any activities that are so-called sinful activities and not really worry about any ecumenical councils making it right for me to do these things. Some of these rituals consist of recreations of old ceremonies that have been practiced for centuries. We recreate the ceremonies of the Knights Templars, a noble group of gentlemen who, because of social pressures, made it very obvious that they were the standard bearers of Christianity.
What is this ring you're wearing here? Looks like it's weighing your hand down.
Well, no, it's a magical ring.
It is?
I have little children rub it, make a wish, and it comes true.
Little children, what kind of a wish did that ring ever make come true?
Well, I would say a great many wishes, but we won't go into them.
Skull and Bones secret society was originally called the Brotherhood of Death. George Bush Jr., his father George H.W. Bush, and his grandfather Prescott Bush had all been initiated into this macabre fraternity, which was established in 1832 at Yale University by William Huntington Russell. His family were America's biggest opium smugglers. George W. Bush was initiated into the Skull and Bones Brotherhood of Death in 1968. The ceremony took place at the Society's headquarters, which is a stone building with almost no windows. This mausoleum-type building is known as the Tomb. There is a small enclosed courtyard and a museum of artifacts held secret by the Society's members, which are all called bonesmen, regardless if they are male or female. Many of the artifacts inside the Skull and Bones headquarters have been stolen by its members. To prove their devotion to the Brotherhood of Death, bonesmen have robbed graves, bringing human skulls and skeletons back to their tomb and placing them in glass display cabinets. For nearly 40 years, George W. Bush has been an active member of this most bloodthirsty occult secret society. His allegiance is primarily to his fellow bonesmen, not the American people. In order to prove his devotion to the Skull and Bones, Prescott Bush, grandfather of George W. Bush, savagely desecrated the grave of Apache Indian chief Geronimo. Prescott Bush robbed Geronimo's grave and had Geronimo's skull placed in a display case alongside the order's other treasured possessions, which include silver tableware from Hitler's Eagle's Nest headquarters in Nazi-occupied Austria. Welcome to the satanically inspired secret world of the Skull and Bones Brotherhood of Death. The Skull and Bones headquarters is on the campus of Yale University. Yale is home to several other lesser secret societies, including the Scroll and Key. Alexandra Robbins is an American journalist who has written a book about the Skull and Bones called Secrets of the Tomb. In her book, she traces the origins of this cult, which was funded from profits of the Russell Company in the early 1800s. The Russell Trading Company was nothing more than an opium trading empire, which, still to this day, is the corporate arm of the Skull and Bones secret society. William Huntington Russell had travelled in Germany during his student years and was befriended by a disciple of Adam Weishaupt's Bavarian Illuminati. Upon returning to the USA in the early 1800s, Russell used some of his family's opium wealth to fund the building of the tomb at Yale University. Russell initiated several of his fellow classmates, including Alfonso Taft, who would go on to become Secretary of War and Ambassador to Russia. Alfonso Taft's son became President of the United States, and so a time-honoured tradition of hereditary membership of the Skull and Bones Brotherhood of Death was begun. We see this tradition continue to this day, with senior bonesmen encouraging young initiates to marry into each other's families, their sons and daughters following in their parents' footsteps and becoming disciples of this most unholy of orders.
What people are going to see is going to make their head go. What's been going on in front of their face and behind their back all their lives. What they thought a completely different story was unfold. The ratio of Skull and Bones members who go on to significant positions of power, either in front of the camera or behind it, is enormous. The Skull and Bones Society does not operate in isolation. It is a strand within the greater web. And important in America, presidents are not elected by ballot, they are selected by blood.
You've broken Skull and Bones, the secret society. It's so secret we can't talk about it. What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to watch. I don't know every single number 322. First of all, he's not the nominee. But pilots are really good news. You both members of Skull and Bones, a secret society. What does that tell us? Not much. Is it a secret? Is it a secret handshake? Is it a secret code? I wish there was something secret out there, but 322, secret number? They don't have the secret. One thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction.
Versions of Freemasonry, Rosicrucianism, Skull and Bones, the Palladian Rite of Freemasonry, Co-Masonry, Scottish Rite Masonry, the Ku Klux Klan, and Crowley's Ordo Templi Orientis are derived from the original Kabbalistic rituals of the Knights Templar.
This is the difference between the power of our Creator and anything else, particularly evil. If you can go into a pitch black room full of evil, full of darkness, and light a little candle, then instantly that darkness flees. But you can't do the opposite. You can't go into a well-lit room full of truth and wisdom and righteousness, and joy and health, and harmony with the universe of power. You can't take off any amount of darkness and go into that well-lit room and have any effect whatsoever. That is a metaphor which I frequently think of when I think that I'm not empowered. It is the greatest lesson for me, and I think for everybody else, to know that we're on the winning side, that we win.